don't believe that he is. Because the thing of it is Babylon is a place of merging all religions together. Merging all belief systems and putting them all together except for one. And that one is the one that we follow in the Isupk, which is under Yahweh Jesus Christ. That's the only one that's not accepted on the earth. Farrakhan is making a compromise just like what other leaders are doing. Now, let's go to the beginning of this same compromise post-flood. Genesis chapter 11 and verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. Now we know that that place today is the Americas. Because where did people have to go from to get to America? They had to come from the eastern side of the world. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. Now, what Farrakhan, he's like monopolizing his own mini Babylon with Islam, because he sits at the top of, Negro Islam. So what is he trying to do with his so-called confession of Christ? What he's trying to do is, because he knows that Islam is losing power. Because brothers in the Isupk are out here on the streets teaching. You see what I'm saying? Brothers out here in the Isupk are hitting the world, hard. And his empire is being shaken. His Negro Islam empire is now shaken from the foundation. So now he figured he got to make a power move. You see what I'm saying? He has to stop that the possibility of losing his power over black people. And his leaders, the people that are paying him, might even came up to him, and secretly and like, hey, Farrakhan, got these people that keep teaching out on the streets, and you're losing a little bit of power. So what would they do? They will pull back on the funding, because he's being funded by the Arabs and funded by other groups to keep us in Islam. All right, let me read on. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. Now, there's a saying in the scriptures, smite the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. So with Islam being smitten, he's afraid of Islam being scattered. That's what he's afraid of. He's terrified of that. So now he figured he has to try and conquer two realms. He has to try and conquer, keep Islam, but at the same time, be shifting towards Christianity also. To sit there and try and merge Negroes together up under that. Shalom, y'all. Bashim y'all Shabrakatah.
Shalom, y'all. Bashim Shabrakatah.
And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one. This is what he's trying to do, because see, by him claiming Christ, now he can appeal to fake Israelite groups, the Christian church, and Islam, and try and pile it all together, as one. And while he sits at the top in niggerdom in this thing. This is what he's trying to do. I mean, Farrakhan, he's a businessman. You see, he's a slick tongue, silver tongue snake-like businessman. He wants to keep you in Islam and Christianity at the same time and put them, merge them together, just like it says here about the people all being one. Because back in the day, Islam, admitted that the white man was the devil and all of that. They're not doing that anymore. And you talk to a Muslim nowadays, they sound just like a Christian. They don't even sound like the Islam from back in the day, from back 20, 25 years ago. Let's see. It's not showing.
It will begin, but it's not showing no pictures.
What's wrong with it? Therefore, we're gonna go to verse 9. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the languages of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth. Farrakhan'S empire is getting ready to be scattered, and he knows it. That's why he's making power moves like this. He's trying to make power moves or whatever. But the truth is going to prevail. That's what's going to happen. And either he's going to have to go two ways. Either he's going to go ahead and rise up as the serpent that he is, or hey, he's going to have to bow down, and go all the way to the bottom. He might mess around and become a trooper. You want to come on?
Come on.
Okay. Let's see.
Take that off.
All right, now let's go to Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 1.
Okay. Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 1. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
Islam, this ain't, here in America, it's certainly not our first time ever having to deal with this, with Islam. It was just called something different during the time of Jeremiah. It wasn't called the Nation of Islam. It's the same thing, but just a different name. As a matter of fact, in slavery, a lot of us came over here as Muslims. Okay, go ahead.
Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers.
We done played the harlot with many lovers. We done been in every religion it is out there. And all of these many lovers is what Babylon is merging together for us to be scattered and follow after all the lovers. You see what I'm saying? After all the different religions, all the different philosophies, Farrakhan is also a tool that they're using to do that. Go ahead.
Yet return again to me, saith the Lord.
Okay, that's the end on that one?
That's the end of verse 1.
Oh, okay, go ahead, verse 2.
Verse 2. Lift up thine eyes unto the high places, and see where thou hast not been lain with.
Now, the Lord said, look into the high places. Look into all the kingdoms of the earth and see where we ain't been lying, where we done been in every religion you can think of. The 12 tribes of Israel is in everything. Islam, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Voodoo. Every religion you can think of, on every high hill, in every kingdom on the face of the earth, we done embraced every god and every philosophy that you can think of. Go ahead.
In the ways hast thou sat for them, as the Arabian in the wilderness.
Now it said, in the ways hast thou sat for them. When you sitting before somebody, that means you being taught by them, just like the Apostle Paul sat at the feet of Gamaliel, who was his teacher. Now it says we sat for them as the Arabian. So what did we learn? We were learning Islam. This is, this is back in the time of Jeremiah. This has always been a big snare to us. We was also dealing with this during the time of the Persians, in Medo-Persia, because Islam also has a root inside that also. Go ahead.
And thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms.
And we polluted the land with our whoredoms. Now think about it. Islam is a religion that promotes whoredoms. Because also too, in Islam, you can put your wife away, and then somebody else can get with her, and they have some funky little thing that they do, and it's their way of pimping out the women, right? And it's a scripture that says, prostitute not thy daughter to become a whore, lest the land, fall to pollution. You know that scripture? I'm paraphrasing, but let the land fall. No, let the land fall to whoredom. And that's one of the things that they do in Islam, and you can't build a nation like that. Another thing too is, how is somebody going to be the nation of Islam? Who was Islam? In order to be a nation of Islam, that means you had to come from the loins of a man named Islam. And none of us come from no man named Islam. Nobody can tell you who the hell Islam is. Farrakhan knows what a nation is. Farrakhan reads the Bible. And he understands what a nation is. But yet, he sat there and got you in this nation of Islam, whom you don't come from, who you don't know who he is, and you didn't come from his loins of no man named Islam. But at the same time, he's trying to keep you inside Islam. He's not going to shake his Islam practices. And he had mentioned too that he has to account for the things that he said in the past. What things is he talking about? I believe the things that he's talking about is back how he used to say that the white man is a devil back in the day. He used to say that, but then they stopped saying it. And he done softened up his message and all of that. He's compromising. Now he's going further in his compromising. Go ahead.
And with thy wickedness. Verse 3. Therefore the showers have been withholden.
What happens? This stuff causes famine, which also we went through the famine also when we was on the west coast of Africa. We went through famines, and where the Most High caused the crops to not grow. I mean, the same thing that was, it was a similar situation. It was what was going on in Jerusalem in 70 AD. The Most High caused a famine during that time too. We had nothing to eat during that time. All right, now let's go to Jeremiah chapter 2. And verse 27.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 27. Saying to a stock, thou art my father, and to a stone, thou hast brought me forth.
Now, that is a dead ringer right there. That is Islam in a nutshell. They walk around that Kaaba, the big black stone, Kaaba stone, and they kiss it and say, thou hast brought me forth. This was Islam back during the time of Jeremiah, which was also a huge snare to us. Now, how could Farrakhan sit there and read the Bible knowing this, but at the same time still keep you in the Islamic religion? How can he do that? Now, if he cares so much for you, right? And Farrakhan has been studying the Bible at least since the 60s, on the time when Malcolm was around. So he knows well of, the fact. You ever seen him teach out of the Quran?
Nah.
He never teaches out of the Quran. He only teaches out of the Bible. Yeah, and he even went as far as to say Jesus was a Muslim. You know, I mean, really though, Jesus wasn't paying homage, walking around no damn rock and kissing the rock and saying the rock brought him forth. Jesus was nowhere near a Muslim. That was the damn Arabians' religion. Okay, go here.
For they have turned their back unto me, and not their face.
Turn our back unto the Most High, not the face. Now think about it. Also, too, what is they pray over to Mecca? You know, when everybody's supposed to be facing towards Jerusalem. They shook that as like, you know, because the Ishmaelites is mad
on what he's bringing out. You understand? What he's bringing out is heavy, because this whole practice of Islam, it was prophesied in the Bible thousands and thousands of years ago. You understand? Right. Thousands of years ago, Moses, you understand, when he was with the children of Israel in the wilderness and basically laying down the law, you understand, letting them know what's going to happen in these days. You know what I'm saying? You read that whole chapter of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, it's going to say, you know, these are the things that you're going to get for obeying the Lord. And then, you know what I'm saying, then after he gives down all the blessings into a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known. And who did that happen to? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You understand? We're in a land right now. We didn't know this land. You understand? Like you talking about, you know, definitely specific tribes like Judah. You understand? We didn't know this land. We was over on the west coast of Africa. You know what I'm saying? Keeping away from the white man. We don't understand the white man's language. We don't understand his culture. We don't understand how underhanded he is. You understand? That's not natural to us. You understand? Right. And then so let's get some more. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
There you go.
Wood and stone. You understand? Like that's prophesied in the Bible thousands of years ago. What is that wood? That wood is that crucifix, that Christian cross that Christ was sacrificed on. You understand? And that stone, that dumb stone over there in Mecca. You understand? That dumb stone that they claim was, you know, fell from heaven and the angels built it up and all this other nonsense that you see throughout the Quran and all this garbage. You understand? That's all it is a dumb stone. And Christ said, and the Lord said that we was going to worship wood and stone in the land that we didn't know of.
Right. And you know what? And also too, you know, with the Catholic Church, they got all those stone statues. You know, and all the you know, you got brothers, you know, worshiping the Buddha, the big Buddha stone. Right. You know, the shape, you know, in the image of Buddha. That also, you know, we doing this all over the earth, but mainly Christianity and Islam is the two biggest things that we doing this in, because what they are, they're the two religions that are really monopolizing all other religions. They're sitting at the top. They're like at the top of the pyramid in all other religions. That's why you listen to a Buddhist man, you know, a Buddhist man sounds just like a Christian. You listen to a Hindu man, he sounds just like a Christian. You know, they what do they say? They say Buddha love everybody. Right. And then they even try and say Buddha is, you know, really Jesus for real. He just went to Asia and then they just called him Buddha. You know, see, they trying to make they're bringing all the religions together. Now that's why Farrakhan is, you know, kind of shape-shifting like he is. And if he was sincere, you know, about his, you know, belief or whatever, and he was sincerely really trying to, you know, repent and come into the truth, then first thing that'll happen is he'll be defunded by all his sponsors. They'll, all of a sudden he'd get in all kind of tax trouble. He would get, you know, he would be persecuted left and right before everybody, you know, to stain his name. They'd be bringing up all types of allegations against him. They would be, you know, he would be catching hell right now, because that's where his blessings are coming from. They coming from, you know, they coming from the devil. Okay, read that part again.
The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Now notice it said thee and thy king. You know, that means the lowly guy and the king who's on high will go into captivity together. And a lot of these kings were into Islam also. That's one of the things, that's one of the chief religions that we was in, being thrown on the slave ship. Okay, now let's go to let's go to Samuel chapter 21 and verse 7. 1 Samuel.
1 Samuel chapter 21 verse 7. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord, and his name was Doeg, an Edomite.
Now, think about this for a second. Now, King Saul is the king of Israel. But King Saul, you know, fell weak at this time. So what did he start to do? He started to, you know, he was being filled with evil spirits. You know, the Most High, you know, said he was going to rent the kingdom away from him. So now he has a man, he has an Edomite inside the court. You know, and he's making this Edomite like his right-hand man. Now, this is also, now, Farrakhan, before was saying the white man was a devil back in the day, but then, next thing you know, he starts to link himself with L. Ron Hubbard and Dianetics, which was like the precursor to Scientology. He was trying to shift us that way, towards Scientology. Now, he's Islam, Scientology, and Christian all at the same time.
Right.
You know, think about it. So what is he doing now? He's moving Esau into the court. Now, as far as with his Dianetics movement and all of that, I'm not too clear on what ended, because eventually you didn't hear about it anymore. So, but he was just the thought that he was getting ready to embrace that. And then also too, he endorsed Barack Obama. So with him endorsing Barack Obama, he was also endorsing Barack Obama's advisors, which was who? White people. So now what is he doing? When he put white people in, now he's ready to sell you now. He involved white people in the mix, you know. So now he's ready to round you up, he's ready to sell you. Just like a slave master. He's pretty much auctioning you off. Okay, any more on that?
The chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul.
Now, notice another thing too. Now, he'll move this Edomite into his court, into his inner, you know, into his inner circle. So, and also he was the chief of his herdsmen. That means that he was chief over all. He was like the king of the cattle. And he had servants up under him. Now he's sitting there telling black men what to do.
Right. When
he's supposed to be in Mount Seir while his own people is up somewhere in Mount Seir. You know what I'm saying? They up there, they in their own land. It's severed from us, but he embraces this dude to come in. And the thing about white people is when one come in, they make ways for the others to come in. That's the way they always operate. They make one, you know, one, just like say for instance, the Jewish man, he'll get a seat on in whatever political realm, he'll get a seat there, and then what does he do? He'll sit there with his money and his influence and his fake wisdom that he got that sounds good, his smooth, his words that are smooth like butter. What he'll do is he'll sit there and influence people, and then he'll sit there and fund people, lend money. You know, what he's really doing is buying a seat for himself, and then he makes ways for all of his confederates to come in, all of his nation to come in. Next thing you know, the cabinet is full of them. Well, Doeg the Edomite was just like this himself. And this is what happens when we have a compromising king over us. A king that will sit there and embrace other nations into his inner circle. We're not a nation that's supposed to do that. You more on that?
Oh, that's it on that.
Okay. Okay, let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 22 and verse 9. The white man is the devil, and King Saul obviously forgot about that, because he went from slaying the Amalekites now to sit there embracing an Edomite.
1 Samuel chapter 22 verse 9. Then answered Doeg the Edomite, which was set over the servants of Saul, and said, I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nob.
Now, check this out. Now, not only does he have this Edomite inside his court, now he's listening to what this Edomite has to say. What this Edomite says holds high value to King Saul. Well, that's what position that Farrakhan is in. Now, what the white man says is going to have high value to him. And what's the very first thing that they're going to start to do? They're going to start to accuse the people that are strong. Just like what Doeg the Edomite is doing right now. Go ahead.
I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nob, to Ahem, elect the son of Atub. Verse 10. And he inquired of the Lord for him, and gave him victuals.
Now, when it talks about in Revelation, when it says the accusers of our brethren are cast down, who is this talking about? This is talking about the white man. Because the white man accuses, he's always accused and slandered, pushed propaganda against us. As soon as they came out with the TV, what's the first thing that they did with it? First thing they did with it is start to slander us so that the whole world has a real negative and bad view towards us. Well, Doeg the Edomite is also doing the same thing. This is why you can't move Edomites into your inner circle. You can't move them into, they shouldn't be in the kingdom, period. They had their own land. There's a border, between Judah and Edom. And that border should not be crossed.
Right.
We shouldn't be going to them, and they should not be coming to us. But what Farrakhan is doing, he's making way for white people to be even more slave masters over us. He cares about his own pockets, is what he really cares about, and his own power and his own position of authority. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care about blacks at all. Go ahead.
And gave him the sword of Goliath, the Philistine.
Now he's telling everything that he knows. You see what I'm saying? He's telling everything that he knows that was done concerning King David, that the priest did concerning King David. He's telling everything. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Then the king sent to call Ahem, elect the priest, the son of Atub, and all his father's house, the priests that were in Nob, and they came all of them to the king. Verse 12. And Saul said, Hear now, thou son of Atub. And he answered, Here I am, my lord. Verse 13. And Saul said unto him, Why have ye conspired against me?
Now, see, what did he do? He accused the righteous of a conspiracy against the king. White people are our enemy regardless. Their mindset is to destroy us.
That's right.
I don't care how good and nice the white dude seems or whatever, he can't change his nature. That's what the whole wrestling in the womb was about. The wrestling between Jacob and Esau. One trying to prevail over the other. Before we knew anything, we were fighting. You see what I'm saying? Just like the saying that General Muhammad had brought out about the scorpion and the turtle. You know, the scorpion was willing to risk his life just to sit there and sting the turtle. Well, that's how white people are. White people are the same damn way. They will die, you know, to hurt and destroy us themselves. They'll die themselves. That's how they are.
Salah. Good. And that's heavy right there, because you don't have to have Bible scriptures to understand that concept that the officer just broke down. You can just look at the earth. You understand? You can look at the animals, and that's proof to you the white man don't care about destroying all that is within the earth or the earth itself. Starting with the ozone layer, starting with, you know what I'm saying, animal extinction, starting with polluting the water, starting with genetically modifying the food. You understand? It don't matter to the white man what he has to do. He just follows the lust of his heart and the desires of his heart. You understand? He's going to do whatever wickedness comes to mind and not care about the consequences.
Right. The white man, if he could, he would destroy the oxygen and not even be able to breathe himself.
That's right.
He'll destroy, you know what I'm saying? He'll destroy the water and not have nothing to drink.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That is how he was formed. That's how he was made. The white man can't go anywhere without killing. Even if he got to kill his own. This is why separation between us and them is so important. Because the white man is such an animal that when we separate from him, one of our greatest weapons is separation.
That's right.
Because the white man is such an animal that if we separate from him, now he has to find a reason to come into our circle, to come in into us. See, now with us being integrated, he don't have to have a reason. He can just pull you over, suspicion. You see what I'm saying? You look suspicious. That's all he got to say. You was looking, you looked at me weird. It's anything like that. But with us being separate, now he has to find a reason. And he has to go, also too, they'll have to have a council. And some might be against coming up against us. And others will be for it. And them two might start fighting. You see what I'm saying? And the white man being such a murderous beast, he will murder and kill his own. You see what I'm saying? This is why separation is so important. And people that are telling you, that have been telling us to integrate with white people, they don't give a damn. They don't care nothing about, they only care about their own bellies. That's it. That's all they care about. Any more on that?
Thou and thy son of Jesse, in that thou hast given him bread and a sword, and hast inquired of God for him. Wow,
now check this out. Now, he's angry that the priest fed King David. So that's the same spirit that the white man has for us having an EBT card. He will starve anything. The white man is such a callous beast. He loves to see things suffer. He would rather King David, starve to death. He's snitching on about the priest giving him bread and all of that. He's telling every damn thing. This is why you can't move them into your inner circle, because they will be an accuser of the brethren. That's one reason. I mean, the chief reason is the Most High said was not to make no covenant with them.
That's right.
There's supposed to be separation between us and them. We're supposed to be separate people. But what Farrakhan and other leaders are doing are merging you with them. You can't put Edomites inside your court. You can't do it. No other nation. And all of these fake Israelite groups, I'll bet you they're siding with Farrakhan on this. This is used, now you're ready to start to see the real from the fake. Because groups like GOCC, they honor Farrakhan. They probably honoring what he's doing right now. They're loving it. Now they're ready to merge with Islam now.
It's a lot, if I could.
Go ahead.
It's crazy once you actually pay attention to this. What the officer bringing out is heavy in the fact that, the whole Bible preaches separation. even Christ, when it's prophesied in the Bible, even when Christ returns, he's going to separate the nations. In the book of Revelations, you understand? Like, if the Lord separated you in the beginning, and Christ is going to separate you at the end, you know what I mean? Like, what's this whole middle thing that we got going on in this time right now about coming together? Like, all these other religions, races, and stuff is wanting us to come together so we can remain on the bottom. You understand?
Right.
We the only ones that don't know the power in separation. And there's examples all throughout history where we can see when we were separate people, we were mighty people. You understand? Like, I always like to bring out Black Wall Street. And there was other cities all across America, you understand? Like, even in Africa, we had the Kingdom of Judah. You understand? Like,
right.
As a separate people, we are powerful. You understand? The Lord gave us that power. You understand? So when we're separate as a nation, that's where our power is. That's where we could truly serve the Lord, which is where our power comes from.
Right.
And the more we come together, the more we listen to these wicked, evil leaders tell us to come together with these people, the further on the bottom they're going to push us down. You understand? We're going to continue to be on the bottom, dying, starving, and all the horrible things that's happening to us today. So if you look at it, that's not the Lord's program. The Lord's program is to separate. You know, from the beginning of the Bible to the end of the Bible, it's been about separation. So listening to anybody that say come together with these other nations, you a fool.
That's right. And the leaders are definitely some damn fools. The leaders, these people, we have to learn how to discern. Black people will follow the shiniest thing. You see what I'm saying? Whatever shines, we'll follow it. We don't even care about, what it thinks, how does it think towards us. I mean, even Farrakhan was running around saying, he said something, if the black man is not working, then he don't have the right to tell his woman what to do. Have you ever seen that?
I've seen something disgusting.
Yeah, he said he doesn't have the right to tell her what to do if he's not providing. Then, now think about it. I see this on the net and on the Facebook, and I commented, I asked him, where's your damn job at? You see what I'm saying? He's sitting there saying this about black men. Black men are supposed to be building their kingdom right now. But he's going to sit there and tell you, if you ain't breaking your back, then you ain't got the right to tell your woman what to do. When was the last time he worked a job? You see what I'm saying? And all the people that black people love and respect are not somebody that plows the field. You see what I'm saying? But then at the same time, so what he's really trying to do, because that type of labor, back-breaking labor, takes you away from any purpose for real, any real purpose. Just like it says in the scripture, the smith, what they call the blacksmith, watch his flesh wasted away. His whole skill is in his work. His whole mindset is in what he's doing. Well, leaders like Farrakhan, that's what they want to do with black men. Because if you constantly, that was the whole same tool that they used in ancient Egypt. You see what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let's go to Exodus 1, chapter 1, where they talk about deal subtly with them. Now, your leader is sitting there telling you this. What he should be doing is he should be, raising up men that want to separate their people from the people that's damn destroying them. But no, he's sitting there pretty much trying to make you, break your back. I think it's Exodus 1 and, let me see. Okay.
Exodus chapter 1 verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply.
Now think about it. Now it said, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. So what is Pharaoh really trying to do? He's trying to stop us from growing. Because see, if you're just thinking about work all the time and you always behind on your bills and you can only think about paying your bills and things like that, now your wife get pregnant, now you thinking, abortion because you can't afford it. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the same techniques that they used in ancient Egypt. So with Farrakhan telling you that, he is trying to stop you from multiplying too. Because see, when a man is, he's he's somewhat free in his mind. Now he can think about things like, man, that's the type of man that be like, man, I want 10 sons. You see what I'm saying? But a man that's up under what he's trying to tell you to do, you barely want 1 son. Now you trying to get your wife on, pills to where she can't have any children because of oppression. He wants you to be oppressed. And if he really cares so much about you working and all of that, why ain't he setting an example of swinging a hammer himself? You see what I'm saying? None of his children is out there breaking their backs. Why shouldn't he? Why don't he be a shining example of that? Why don't he do what he say the black men should do all the damn time? If he believe we should break our back, he should go and break his. Go ahead.
And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies.
So now the plan is to weaken us so that we don't have the strength to fight against them. You see what I'm saying? That's the same damn thing that when he said that quote, that is the same thing that he was meaning right there. Because back-breaking labor and things like that take your spirit away from you. You got to work 60 hours a week. Construction or whatever it is that you do. Your mind starts to get set around that and around bills all the time. You see what I'm saying? You don't really have a freedom of thought. You don't have leisure time. But at the same time, he has all the damn leisure time in the world to think about how to sell blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians to the damn white man and to everybody else.
Right.
He should put his ass to work. As a matter of fact, brothers like that in the kingdom, he's probably going to be put to work. Go ahead.
And so get them up out of the land.
Now, what did he want to do? Get us up out of the land. Get us up out of to where we don't have our own power base. We be scattered out into the cities that we have to go to work to. Now, before that, we were cattlemen. We were herdsmen. We had sheep, cattle. That was where our mind. That's where our work was at. And one of the reasons why the Most High wanted us to have that specific kind of work is so that we get a good understanding of how to rule over people. Rule with mercy. You see what I'm saying? When you have sheep, a bunch of sheep, you have to take care of them. You see what I'm saying? You have to feed them. You have to make sure that, summertime when it's hot, that they don't have too much wool on them. So you take care of them. You trim the wool. You take the wool down so that they can be cooler. I mean, you care for them in all areas. You see what I'm saying? But with that being taken from us, right now, and with us making bricks for Pharaoh, we start to get hard-hearted towards that type of profession right there. You see what I'm saying? And we start to care less for the people. A man that's always breaking his back, the only thing he can think about is him and his immediate family. That's all he cares to think about. As a matter of fact, when it comes to thinking about somebody else, he gets mad. You come to him with that, brother, you should be caring for your people, and he's been breaking his back all day, he'd get mad at you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because all he knows is just me and mine. Take care of me and mine. That's all his mind's around, because society's telling him, and Farrakhan's telling him to serve his woman. And anytime that he want to act like he want to have some mercy up on anything or give to somebody, she'll be in his ear. But we need that for the house. We need that for the family right there. You should just be worried about your family. Pushing him to a mode of selfishness. You see what I'm saying? Only worried about his family, his specific family. Well, that's what Farrakhan is trying to push you into by that statement right there. Is push you into individualism, because Farrakhan ain't made that money, all of them millions of dollars off you being together. He's made it off you being individual.
Right.
Those people that be in Farrakhan'S speaking in his audience and all of that, these people ain't together. They're against each other. They're individuals. You look at Muslims. Muslims sell dope. They sell big dope. So how the hell you gonna be selling big dope, but yet you care about your people? You don't. Muslims are drug dealers, huge drug dealers. They out there, they the ones pushing the heroin and all of that. They following after they Arab slave masters and follow alongside their ways. But at the same damn time, they ain't selling dope to no Arabs. They selling it to their own. Individualism is what the hell they are. And also too, leaders like Farrakhan also get paid by Planned Parenthood. They get paid, to tell blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to pretty much to take abortion off the table, not to talk too much about it. If they get on it, they'll get on it for 5 seconds and then hop back off. They don't hang too much on that subject right there. Because see, they catching that paycheck. You know what I'm saying? All of these mega church leaders and all of that is catching a cut for Planned Parenthood not to say anything. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
They set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. Now, who's the black man's taskmaster inside the house? He got a taskmaster wherever he goes. He got his woman in the house. And she's raising the children to be taskmasters. You see what I'm saying? Because Christmas time come around, he got to pull doubles.
Right.
And if he don't pull doubles and give a good Christmas to them, he's going to be looked at as a nutting nigga. Everything that he did all of that year is not going to be important.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If he missed out on that, if he falls short that one day out of the year, what he's done all year means nothing. And also, too, now she's raising them to be taskmasters over him. And then when he leaves out the house, he got a taskmaster, which is the police, on his way to work.
Salakia, if I could.
Well,
that's heavy as hell. That hit me personally right there. The whole comment about the rest of the year meaning nothing for Christmas, and not that this is a breakdown on Christmas and how wicked it is, but that's wicked as hell when you look at how deeply ingrained we are and rooted in these wicked holidays. Because I remember growing up, even though, you know what I'm saying, when I'm growing up in the world, I had a good Christmas, but I look over and saw that my little sister had more than me, and what did I do? I still remember that to this day, you understand? Like, that's how wicked it is to, like, worship not only that day, but to follow these customs and practices, and then look down on somebody when they provide for you, you know what I'm saying, 365 days out of the year, and then you want to get upset over one day over a false religion, you understand, a false holiday. Like, right. That's wicked, you know what I'm saying? Right. That's why we can't follow people, you know what I'm saying, that's going to lead us down this path. You know what I mean? We can't keep going down the same path that we have been going, you know, the last 400 years. We gotta turn away. We gotta repent. We gotta start following these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because if we follow Farrakhan, he's gonna lead us to destruction. You understand? That's all I want to say.
That's right. That's right. We follow Farrakhan. You know, I'll bet you a lot of those people that be at his speakings, they all keep all the American holidays. They keep them.
Right.
As a matter of fact, you know, my brother's a Muslim, but he celebrates Christmas also. And you ask him, and what will he say? It's for the kids, though. Right. You know, for the kids.
Right.
Those are the dates. So they done raised everything in the black man's house is a taskmaster over him.
Right.
And then he go out. Now he got the police as a taskmaster. And then he go on the job. Then he got his supervisor as a taskmaster over him also. The IRS or whatever, you know, he got a taskmaster everywhere.
Right.
And now when everybody's ruling over you, what type of mindset does that put towards you. That makes you weak. You see what I'm saying? Because now all you're thinking about is how now everything that you do is kind of rooted out of a fear. It's rooted out of a fear. If I don't do this, if I don't buy her this on Valentine's Day, then we might get a divorce. You see what I'm saying? That's fear. Everything is designed to take the confidence away, specifically away from black men. And because if the black man ain't got no confidence, now he's gonna stay as a slave, and he's gonna be meat to be eaten by everybody else.
Right.
See more on that?
Come on. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses.
Look at the north side of Chicago. Wow, it's glorious, ain't it?
Okay.
And you look at the south side, and the west side. That all of that stuff is built off of us. That's the north side of Chicago is a huge treasure city, and all that is built off the back of the slaves. But then when you look on the south side and all of that, that's where all the crime, the poverty, the killing of one another, and all of that's going on. So that's showing you, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a seesaw. If one side of the seesaw is up, it's because the other side of the seesaw is down, right? You see what I'm saying? If one side of the seesaw is up here, that means the other one's down. So when you look at the south side of Chicago, when you look at the north side of Chicago, the south side and all of that has to be down for that to happen. You see what I'm saying? We're not two nations that could be up at the same damn time. But the thing of it is, we should want to be up. Because our children and our grandchildren and the issue that will shoot forth of us, we should want them to be on the top. If not for ourselves personally, we should want our children to not have to beg. We should want the white man's children to have to beg. Because the white man is an unjust ruler upon the earth. And the only way that they ever going to learn to empathize with anybody is through their own pain. Any more on that?
That's all right.
Okay.
Unless you want to get 12, that's some
Okay, all right.
Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
Now that's the grief right there of America and of the black leaders. Because the black leaders share the same grief as the white man.
Right.
Because it says the more that they afflicted them, the more that we grew, multiplied and grew. We are grief to them right now. That's why they always have to up, the abortion rate. They always have to keep raising it. I mean, it's just, just a production line of them just slaughtering our children like that. While they sat there and have you thinking black on black crime is the problem. That's what's reducing our population, is one black guy killing another black guy over some drugs. That's not what's reducing our population. Nobody ever says that about the Arabs. The Arabs have been in war for what? 50-something years, right? Probably longer than that. Yeah. But nobody sat there and says Arab on Arab crime is reducing the population of Arabs. Nobody ever says that. The Arabs are bombing the hell out of each other. You see what I'm saying? And all the, and when white people were killing each other in World War II and all of that, they still didn't say white on white crime is reducing the population of Europeans. They didn't say any of that. But they saying that about us because they want you to look at one black man shooting another black man, and they don't want you to look at the abortion rate. They don't want you to look at that. Farrakhan is in support of that. If he endorsed Barack Obama had somebody in his cabinet that was high up in the abortion. You see, I think what was he Henry Kissinger, that sits like at the top of. He said he's like the chairman for population control. He was involved in Barack Obama's campaign. You think that this went? You think this avoided Farrakhan's eye? No, it sure the hell didn't. Any more?
Okay. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
Now, there's a scripture also that says, he who teacheth his son grieves the enemy. Now, one of the ways that we want to grieve the enemy, we should be pushing to have children. We got to do the direct opposite. You see what I'm saying? A lot of us, don't want to have any children because we think, well, I just can't afford them. I just can't afford them. And we figure, well, this is, deep down inside, we figure this is just going to piss America off. Well, we should be wanting to piss America off.
Right.
We should be wanting to do these things. That's why separation is so important.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We should be wanting to separate so that now we can have more sons and daughters. This was the chief desire of people in the Bible, to have sons and daughters. You see what I'm saying? Many sons. You see, even when we in oppression and all of that, we should still desire to have children. We should still desire that. Because that stuff grieves the enemy. We should want to grieve the enemy. We can't sit there and be in agreement with the enemy. Oh, well, I don't want to have none, or like what black women say all the damn time. Like, I love my kids, but then at the same time, she'll sit there and see a woman with no kids. Oh, you ain't got no kids? Oh, that's good. Now, I remember hearing this, what I'm saying, my whole life, and you still hear it to this day. They'll sit there and see a woman that ain't got no kids and say, that's good.
Right.
And Christ also said something about that when it said, the time will come where they should say, blessed be the womb that doesn't bear. I'm paraphrasing. He said that. There was a prophecy right there that you see clear as damn day today. The first thing they say was, that's good. Like, that's a great thing. And this is why so many women, and then a woman that got many kids by one man, they're grieved by her. Black people are grieved by her. She got 6 kids with her husband. Dang, I couldn't have that many kids. I wouldn't want to have that many kids. First thing come out of the black woman's mouth, and black man say the same damn thing. Oh, I don't want that many kids. They don't even care that she got all her kids by one man. They don't even care. They should be looking at honoring that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But instead, they grieve behind that because the white man is grieved. You see what I'm saying?
So,
Go ahead.
If you haven't been tuning in to the radio show with Commanding General Yohana, like, you need to start tuning in, because he always bringing out heavy stuff about how America today is just like Egypt in the Bible. You understand? Like, it's direct correlations between how these wicked Negroes is today. Like, you don't think it was Negroes in the wilderness telling Moses, you know what I'm saying? Like, after this happened, the verses we just read, you don't think it was Negroes telling Moses, look, man, we just need to come together with Egypt. We just need to work harder. We just need to make them happier. You understand? We just need to do more. We just need to be more like the Egyptians. We just need to assimilate. Like, these Negroes today, same thing it was in Egypt. You don't think when they was on the road trying to escape Pharaoh, it talk about Negroes talking about, we just need to turn back. You understand? You brought us out here to die. Like, that's the kind of leadership you have here in America.
Right.
That ain't real leadership. You understand?
Right. It sure the hell ain't.
That ain't real leadership.
Right. That's a heavy point you just brought out, because that's how Korah and them was in the wilderness. Korah and the men that had the censers and all of that try to usurp the priesthood so that they can get the people to go back into Egypt. They was the same damn way. So you got to sit there and judge the leaders. Is he like Korah or is he like Moses? You see what I'm saying? Is he like Caiaphas or is he like Christ?
Right.
You got to judge them that way. You just like what General Muhammad said. You got to put them under scrutiny, even when they speak right. You got to know that they speaking with a serpent's tongue.
Right.
You got to know that. You see what I'm saying? I mean, hell, the Apostle Paul was put under scrutiny. When he went from being a Pharisee that was persecuting the Jews and all of that, he was put under scrutiny until, Apostle Paul proved himself that he was sincere and that he was serious. You see what I'm saying? Then the people backed up. Then they backed up off of him. Any more on that?
I said unless you want to kind of keep going on what Pharaoh did.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
With rigor, that's hard bondage right there. That's what Farrakhan was telling you really to do. He's telling you really to break your back. And that's the same spirit. If a black man is on a job, right, and he has an easy job, everybody will look at him like he ain't doing nothing. You see what I'm saying? He can have all type of degrees and all of that. You see what I'm saying? But they said that they want to see you breaking your back. And especially if you're talking about the truth. That's why they'll sit there when you teaching the truth and when you end the ISUPK, people from the outside is looking at you like, where you work at? That's the first question they want to know is where you work. They sitting there taking the work that you do of the Lord and rising that work that your slavery up as like it's the equivalent. But see, here's the thing. If you out there working all the time, they're not going to come at you like, man, why ain't you in the word though? What are you doing for your people? What are you doing for this? They're not coming at, they're not going to come at you like that. That's how you know they're evil as hell. You see what I'm saying? Because you can be breaking your back and nobody's going to sit there and be like, man, you should be in that word, man. You know, you should be out there in the corners, man. Nobody's coming at you like that except for the people in the ISUPK. You see what I'm saying? You got troopers. If we have troopers and officers and they're not, making it to camp and things like that, and they're all about, pretty much about the slavery or whatever, somebody gonna check that brother. Hey, brother, you need to make it to camp. You see what I'm saying? You need to do this. You need to do that. But out there in the world, they won't do that. These fake Israelite groups, they're not doing that. They esteem the job more than anything. You're not supposed to esteem your job with you're not supposed to look at it as the equivalent of the work that you do in the Lord. You see what I'm saying? You can't be loving that more than your work in the Lord. And that's the problem with a lot of brothers, man. A lot of brothers love their slavery because they get pushed by every damn body to only care about that. But at the same time, if you work part-time and then you put your all into the work of the Lord, now they looking at you like you ain't doing enough. You see what I'm saying? Even if all your bills are taken care of and all of that, they looking at you like you should be working. You should be out there breaking your back. If you working 30 hours a week, the way they see it, you should be working 60. You should be working so much that you can't think about this. You can't think about the work of the Lord. That's what they're really saying for real. It's a demonic spirit that's coming from them, and it's in all of these fake Israelite groups. All right. Okay. Read some more.
Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field.
Now think about it. Egypt was known for having powerful horses, right? Now they could have easily used these horses, right? They could have easily used the horses to transport the bricks. But did they do that? No. They used us to transport the bricks. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why they did that is because they wanted to make sure that Egypt was built off of our backs, just like America. When they was building certain, I think it was the White House or something like that, they didn't want to use machinery. They wanted to use our backs to do it. As a matter of fact, it's a mansion now that it's a big mansion that has, you know how they have pillars. They have a pillar like on one side and one on the other, like on the porch, right? Well, the pillars are actually black dudes like this. You see what I'm saying? And the roof of the porch is on the black dude's back, and they like that, and it's 2 of them. I wish I could find that picture, you know what I'm saying? But it's a slave mansion that's built like that, which also shows how America was built. They want America built off your back, and in a lot of cases, even literally. Farrakhan doesn't give a damn about you. He doesn't. He would rather you be wore out like that. You see what I'm saying? And he's trying to push you. He's trying to push you to break your back, but within all of them millions of dollars that he got, why ain't he getting brothers off the slavery and having him doing the work that he believes important? He's not doing that. You see what I'm saying? We the only nation that wants to see the scholars breaking their back. We're the only nation on the earth that's like that. Nobody else does that. Nobody else. You see what I'm saying? You know, when was the last time somebody seen a Catholic priest, you know, swinging a damn hammer? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, laboring is cool, but then you also have to have other things. You see what I'm saying? You have to have that. You have to have your teachers, your scholars, and all of that. We the only nation that want to see the teachers and scholars busting their damn back so that they can't teach, that they can't do the work of the Lord, and so that their spirit is beat down. We the only damn people that's like that, and it profits Farrakhan for him to do that, because with you being strong, now you can think. Now you can be like, yeah, you can see his deception. Now you'll have questions for Farrakhan now. You see what I'm saying? Because your mind will be freer. Because heavy, hardcore labor like that weighs down your mind. And it puts a cap on your ability to be able to think. That's why the man that, you know, that's breaking his back all day is perceived as being dumb. You see what I'm saying? Any more?
Okay. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
That's hardcore service. And like I said, they needed to break down our physical strength. And see, because you've been carrying, but the dude that been carrying bricks all day, yeah, he's strong to carry those bricks. But his body starts to be built like his job. You see what I'm saying? And if your body's built like your job and everything, you're not really going to be that good of a warrior. You see what I'm saying? You used to having this on your back like this, and you're just dragging it along and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to, you know, just like with Samson, for instance. When Samson was grinding in the mill, what was one of the reasons why they had Samson doing that? So that all of that strength that Samson had can be used that way. You see what I'm saying? Now he's sitting there grinding on one of those things that you know, what they use the push around, you know, and that's all you can do all day long is that. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to be that good of a warrior. He wasn't the same man that, you know, physically that he was before. You see what I'm saying? That man that he was before, he was free in body. You see what I'm saying? He could pick up the jawbone and whack, 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 slap up, you know what I'm saying, 1,000 Philistines, go down into the city, slay all of these, you know, and then bring the spoils back. He could do all of that. But if you just grinding in the mill all damn day, you know what I'm saying? And then his eyes got put out too. Because see, hard labor and hard bondage like that, also it starts to cause you to go spiritually blind. Because all you can really see is your work. You see what I'm saying? You can only really see that. Even though you might be able to physically see with your eyes, but at the same time, your spiritual eyes is going dim. And what happens in your spirit, a lot of the times transpires into the physical. Next thing you know, you got your eye, you got that grayish look to them and all of that. The eyes look dim. You see people with like diabetes and things like that, and how they have that gray gloss over their eyes, you know, and they see it is not that well, and they eventually going blind. That is behind because you done lost sight. The spiritual reason, you done totally lost sight of the truth. You see what I'm saying?
That's it.
Okay. Now let's go to.
So
All right. All right. Let's go to Job chapter 34 and verse 1.
Job chapter 34 verse 1. Furthermore, Elihu answered and said, Hear my words, O ye wise men, and give ear unto me, yea, that have knowledge. So like ye that have knowledge. For the ear trieth words, as the mouth tasteth meat.
The ear trieth words as the mouth tasted meat. Whenever you hear a black leader speak, you got to try those words. Now, Job, being a righteous man, he even slipped a bit. That's one of the reasons where it caused the calamity to come down upon Job. The Most High is done getting him back right. Because Job almost started to fall into a situation like a black leader. You know, like one of the black leaders of today. As we read on, we'll see more of that. Elihu was the only man that spoke right, the young man that spoke rightly concerning the situation with Job. While Job's other friends that he had didn't have the right answer for him, but only accused Job without really telling him, you know, his transgression for real. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Let us choose to us judgment. Let us know among ourselves what is good. For Job hath said, I am righteous, and God hath taken away my judgment. Verse 6. Should I lie against my right? My wound is incurable without transgression.
What did Job do? Job justified himself. That's what your black leaders do. They justify themselves. And then they point the finger at you and say you are the problem. But when the people go into calamity and they, you know, go into trouble, the leaders are the ones that are supposed to be looked at. You see what I'm saying? But what do? They justify themselves. Your black preacher on the corner, he do the sense of the church on the corner, he do the same damn thing. He justifies himself, totally detaching himself away from your problems and issues and telling you that all your problems are your own fault. Give me some more.
Verse 7. What man is like Job, who drinketh up scorning like water?
Now, you hear this. It said, what man like Job that drinketh up scorning like water? Because where did Job live at? Job lived in the land of Edom. But at the same time, he would hear the cursings of his friends. But at the same time, he act like, you know, he really didn't hear that. You see what I'm saying? That's why I said he drank up scorning like water. He drunk it up. You see what I'm saying? And that's what the black leaders do. You know, they hear the scornings from white people, but they act like, you know, they don't hear it. You see what I'm saying? And they step there and still, but at the same time, they will blame and accuse you. But they won't accuse the white man. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Which goeth in company with the workers of iniquity.
Whoa. It says there that Job went in company of the workers of iniquity. So what does this mean? This means Job was hanging out with Edomites. This is what Farrakhan and all of these black leaders are doing. They're sitting there and having lunch with your enemies. Now, whenever you sit and you have lunch with somebody, that's an agreement. You see what I'm saying? Even Samson, he slipped up and did this himself when he had the Philistines that he used as his friends. And he would hold a feast, right? And he would eat with the Philistines. That right there was spiritually agreement that he was going to go into slavery. You see what I'm saying? Because whenever you eat with somebody, that's an agreement. When the ISUPK, we eat with each other, that's an agreement and a bond of brotherhood that we're going to continue this work. You see what I'm saying? But when you sat with a heathen, there's only one agreement that you got, and that you're going to be a slave. That's it. That's the only agreement you got. You're going to be their servant. You're not even agreeing that he's going to be your servant. He's ruling. The agreement is that's why corporates and all of that always want to have luncheons, or they have in a business or whatever. They always want to make sure, like if it's a Christmas party or any of that, they want to make sure that the black people's eating. They want to make sure of that. And if you don't eat, they looking at you weird, like, why aren't you eating? They been treating you like garbage the whole year. Any other time they treat you like garbage, but at this time they're nice to you and want to feed you now. You see what I'm saying? Because by them doing that with you, instills that you're going to be their slave till the next go around, till the next dinner, next luncheon that they have. Okay, give me some more on that.
And walketh with wicked men.
Now this was Job. Now Job had a time where he was slipping. But your Christian leaders are like this utterly. You see what I'm saying? They're utterly like this. Go ahead.
Verse 9. For he hath said, it profiteth a man nothing that he should delight himself with God.
That is what the black leaders are saying. Farrakhan'S saying the same damn thing. Because if he really had a fear of the Lord, then he wouldn't be joining with your enemies and trying to join you with them. You see what I'm saying? He wouldn't be flip-flopping into Christianity. Because when he spoke of Christ and everything, when he spoke of Jesus, he's not meaning the black Jesus that's in the Bible. That's not what he's talking about. That's not what he's meaning. And in one of his speakings, he said in order for black people to accept Jesus, he had to come in the form of a white man. I heard him say that in one of his teachings. That he had to come in that shape. Which is totally against what the scriptures say.
Right.
Give me some more.
Salaki. Therefore hearken unto me, ye men of understanding. Far be it from God that he should do wickedness.
What verse are we on?
Verse 10.
Okay. All right.
And from the Almighty that he should commit iniquity. Verse 11. For the work of a man shall be rendered unto him, and cause every man to find according to his ways.
The black leaders is going to get what's coming to them according to their ways. You see what I'm saying? And those, what that scripture say, smite the shepherd and the sheep will be scattered. But then it goes and says, then will I set my hand up on the little ones. The ones that follow that leader. We gotta stay away from these black leaders that are in league with our enemies. Because it's only one agreement between there's only one agreement between them, and that is to sell you and feed you to white people. Now let's go to
Salaki, if I could.
Okay.
And if I could, there's more people starting to recognize how worthless these Christian leaders are. You understand? Like it's people, like in the school we always bring out how they I think it was Baltimore, where they chased Jamal Bryant out the ghetto. The brother was on video telling him he don't want him around anymore. You seen certain people, say like, we don't want Al Sharpton to come down, because they understand that all these leaders do is come and appease the people. They don't really get no results. They come, appease the people, get their check, and you don't hear from them anymore. They don't really care about the condition of black people. They don't really care if the issue get resolved. They just want to make it perceive like they care.
Right.
When in actuality they don't care. And that's the same thing your Farrakhan is. He's one that appeases the people with smooth words. You understand? He talks a good game, talks about all this blackity black stuff. But if you listen closely, what is he really talking about? He supports homosexuality. He supports coming together with the white man. He supports you being just really a nation that's integrated through all these other nations and philosophies. When that's, again, we already brought it out earlier, that's not the program of the Lord. You understand?
Right.
That's not the Lord's program, and that's not what you should be doing. So, like, it's more people starting to wake up to this foolishness. We all just need to wake up faster, more of us, and understand that they're not here to resolve any of the issues. You understand? They can't. They don't have the understanding and the know-how of these men in the Isupk. You understand?
That's right. That's right. And you know what? And that's heavy that he brought that out, because not only do they not have the understanding, they don't want it. As the scripture said, it's a price in a fool's hand to get wisdom, seeing that he has no heart for it. You see what I'm saying? They have every means that possible of getting wisdom. You see what I'm saying? These people, they know about the Isupk. Farrakhan'S been knowing about the Isupk. That's how he got a lot of his teachings. That's how he got a lot of his understanding of the Bible. But at the same time, that as that scripture says, it's a price in the fool's hand to get knowledge, but he ain't got a heart for it at all. He wants to have gain. That's what he wants. His whole wisdom is in how to hustle people. He was a hustler from the beginning. Now let's go to Psalms chapter 14 and 1.
Psalms chapter 14 verse 1. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God.
That is what all of these black leaders is really saying for real. Because if they really believe, they said, even though they know that there is a God, of course, but they've said in their heart that, that he's not going to do anything to them concerning what they're doing to their people. You see what I'm saying? That there won't be no judgment for them. Just like what Elihu, the young man, said, that Job has said, the Lord has taken away my judgment. That's what they're saying also. That's what the black leaders are saying. That's what Caiaphas and them was saying during the time of Christ. Go ahead.
They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good.
None that doeth good. The abominable works is making you stay in a belief system that is not true.
Right.
That's the abominable works that they have done is totally detestable before the Lord. Now, let's get, okay, go ahead. More on that.
Verse 2. The Lord looketh down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek God.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. They are all gone aside. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one.
All your black leaders are corrupt. They all have the same mind. Regardless of what they claim, whether they Islam or they're the Egyptologists and all of that, or the Christian church, they all have the same mind. The Most High is looking up on the leaders to see if there's any of them that's willing to turn. But what do? They keep going in their own path. They keep on going. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge?
They have no real knowledge. Their whole knowledge is set in how to get rich. And how to make food of the Most High's people. Now let's go to Psalms 1 and 1.
Psalm chapter 1 verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Blessed is the man that don't walk in, that does not sit in the counsel of the ungodly, that don't set up and try and make decisions on how to fix black people with white people. The people that hate them. The people that's causing the damn suffering. Go ahead.
Nor standeth in the way of sinners.
Nor stand in the way of sinners. Nor, that don't go and you won't see this man, next to Donald Trump. Just like all your Christian pastors, what did they do? They went and backed Trump.
Right.
And you see them on television with the damn devil. Go ahead.
nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
This man ain't trying to sit on Congress. The blessed man of the Lord ain't trying to sit up on the damn Congress and up on the seat with people that hate the Lord and the Lord's people. Now, let's go to Psalms 2 and verse 1.
Psalms chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing?
Now, the heathen is raging, and the black leaders are up under the heathen. What are the black leaders doing? They're raging too, right? They're raging against you. You had down in Jacksonville, Florida, you had a gang of pastors that came out and protested in the street and saying they pushing for the death penalty for black on black crime. You see what I'm saying? That means one black man rob another black man, whether he kills him or not, they want the death penalty for him. You see what I'm saying? They're protesting that more black people die. You see that? That's pure wickedness right there. Go ahead.
Verse 2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed.
The kings sat together, and the rulers also, the black leaders, sit and take counsel with everybody that wants us dead and wiped off the face of the planet. You got to turn from these damn leaders. Even when they say things that are right, always think about the reason of why they're saying it. Don't just look at it where he said 10 things wrong, one thing right, and then you focus on that one thing that he said right, and now you like, man, now you're counting him as righteous. While on the other hand, we can say 10 things out of 10 things that is right, and you'll say we're wrong. See that double standard right there? Go ahead.
Verse 3. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
What is it saying right there? Let us divide them up. Let us break them down into individualism. That's how they break the bands and the cords. Everything is about, keeping us separate and weakening us. That's what they want to do so that they can keep control of us. You have 10 black people in a house, they're divided. One's a Christian, one's a Muslim, one's something else, one's running around, he's some type of Rastafarian running around with dreads. None of them is even in agreement. That's the breaking of the bands right there. And all of them are self-centered as hell. That's the breaking of the bands, and that's what they want to do to us as a whole nation and want to keep us like that. But the Lord's got other things. He got other plans. You go ahead.
Verse 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh.
The Most High that sitteth in the heavens is going to laugh at them. Yeah, the Most High laughs. He looks up on the devices of men and the wicked devices that they got, and the Lord's up there and the angels, and they roll. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
The Lord shall have them in derision.
What is he going to do? Put a spirit of confusion. And just like what he did with Ahab, send a lion spirit to be a lion, to be the lion spirit in the mouth of all their prophets, and have them in confusion and derision, lying to one another. And then once that lion prophet's vision or whatever didn't come true, now they're going to look at him and want to kill him. You see what I'm saying? They're going to want to blame him now. Okay, is that good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Right. Announcement.
All right, ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Refer to the website. You understand? We got all our upcoming holy convocations as well as the calendar on isupk.com. Remind Akim and Aqua to check the website and social media. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, I imagine. Upon our done, turn face east. We'll do the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Ayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Tabah. Ratazaka. Ayah. Aisha. Baratazak. Kawa. Ayah. Bashemayim. Nathan Lanau. Lakam. Cow. Yawam. Wasalakana. Kabawakina. Kasalakana. Kabawakina. Wala'a. Tabayana. Banasai 1. Babal. Awashayana. Bayan. Rad. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Waha'al. Watapara. Wa'ayalanya. Aman. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. The prayer for the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh. Wa Miyaka Wa Bataz Zabiyah. Alawap Yahana. Hi Saranya. Hi Kwatazayanya. Hi Kaya. Wa Akwatian. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. The water Aman. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angel. Commanding General Yahweh. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Hakak, the prayer for the power. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Baruch Nathan Lanau. Hakak. La Para. Kam Lakala. Wakam Madawa. Hakak. La Ta'ar. Hamatazariah. Hakak. La Ha'akwayim. Hamatayim. Hakak. Arakarawa. Hamatalal. Lagarashan. Ba'ashim Yahushua. The water Aman. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the
The
dead.
power against the unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. The anointing prayer. Yabaraka. Yabaraka.
Yabaraka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Wayashamaraka.
Wayashamaraka.
Yah.
Yah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Panyawa.
Panyawa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Wayakanka.
Wayakanka.
Yeshua.
Yeshua.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Panyawa.
Panyawa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Wayasham.
Wayasham.
Laka.
Laka.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Hagun.
Say the name of the loved ones you want to pray for.
The Puckett family.
The Puckett family.
The Todd family.
The Todd family.
The Hall
The
family.
Hall family.
And all the destroyed of Israel.
All the destroyed of Israel.
Done.
The Wright family.
The Wright family.
The Jones
The
family.
Jones family.
The Jordan family.
The Jordan
The
family.
Yulee family.
The Yulee family.
The Fisher
The
family.
Bishop family.
The Blakely
The
family.
Blakely family.
All the destroyed of Israel.
All the destroyed of Israel.
Done. By Hashem Yahushua.
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
The water Aman.
The water Amon. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bless thee and keep thee.
Bless thee and keep thee.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Make his face shine upon thee.
Make his face shine upon
And be
thee.
gracious unto thee.
And be gracious unto thee.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Lift up his countenance upon thee.
Lift up his countenance upon thee.
And give thee peace.
And give thee peace.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect. Yeah, that's it. Oh, the curses.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment, destruction.
And punishment, destruction.
And death.
And death.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against
That
us.
speak against
Thy
us.
prophets.
The prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers in the school.
The Israelite brothers in the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and
And
curses.
punishment, destruction.
And punishment, destruction.
And death to the heathen.
And death to the heathen.
And shake loose the pockets
And shake loose the pockets
of the rich of Israel.
of the rich of Israel
That refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to get to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches
To enter into thy
to
sanctuary.
enter that sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment, destruction.
And punishment, destruction.
And death to the Edomites.
And death to the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nation.
And the drug dealers.
And the drug
The
dealers.
court
The
system.
court system.
Prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitatus.
Posse
The
Comitatus.
gay
The
movement.
gay
The
movement.
lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the
The
airways.
cable access channel.
The cable access channel.
And the radio
And
channel.
the radio channel.
Convict the spirit
Convict the spirit
of any of thy people
of any of thy people
that seek to stop
that
us
seek to stop
and
us
bring swift death
and bring swift death
to all the heathens
to all the heathens
that stand in the
that
way
stand in the way
or try to stop us
try to stop us
from broadcasting your word
broadcasting your words
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the terrorists.
Let loose all the terrorists.
Let them go to and fro
Let them go to and fro
through the earth and destroy.
through the earth and destroy.
Cause the terrorists to come against America
Cause the terrorists to come against America
and destroy them in their stronghold.
and destroy them in their stronghold.
Let America shake
Let America shake
at the hands of the terrorists.
at the hands of the terrorists.
Let Yahushua,
Let Yahushua,
Michael,
Michael,
and Gabriel,
and Gabriel
come down with flying saucers
come down with the flying saucers
and kill all the
and
heathen
kill all the heathen
that come up against us
that come up against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known
Cause it be known
by all
by all
that is the angels that have done it.
that is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread
Cause it be spread
throughout the media,
throughout the media,
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at that coming.
In the name of
In
Yahushua,
the name of Yahushua,
thank you.
thank you.
Always.
Always.
So be it.
So be it. Sir, Gonna be a 1 courtesy salute. Men of Israel. Imajim Shabbat. Imajim Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat. Yakimata. Dismissed.